As a leader, when you're making a decision about where to invest your limited time and attention and energy in order to become ever more effective, to become better in your role as a leader, an important distinction to understand is the difference between horizontal growth or learning and vertical growth or vertical development. When we're talking about learning, we're talking about gaining access to new information, new data. We can consume that information from external sources in an event. Like, you can watch a YouTube video, you can read a book, you can go to a course and listen to an expert, download some information. And when you upload that information into your mind, that's learning. You're learning new concepts and ideas. That's great. I don't want to downplay that at all. You know, that's a very important thing to invest in at certain points during our journeys. If there is a gap in what you understand, in what you know, and you feel like knowing that thing would help close the gap so that you get a different result going forward, great. Horizontal growth all the way, you know, invest in your learning, learn those new things. Wonderful. There are, however, certain things where no amount of knowledge, no amount of information, no amount of more data is going to make it any more clear to you how you need to proceed or move forward. And when you're coming across those kinds of complexities in your role as a leader, then something else is needed, something more than just reading a book, watching a video. An investment in vertical development becomes necessary. This is where you're going to get a greater return on your investment of your time and energy. So vertical development you can think of as, rather than pouring more information into your mental cup, you're expanding the size of the cup, your mental cup, to be able to do more with whatever's in it. Okay. So with that expanded range, you gain more behavioral flexibility. Instead of just showing up and behaving the same way, having the same triggers in those situations, those challenges that you're facing, you're going to be able to step back, feel more creative, better resourced, more elegant in showing up different ways to nudge the systems you're in, to influence people. You'll develop an enhanced capacity for navigating situations where you just don't know. Like, oftentimes that's a point of vulnerability for a lot of leaders. It's like, I don't know. I can't admit I don't know. Who's going to follow me if I don't know? But there's actually a different source of power we can access and a different level of influence when we can show up with that kind of trust in our own vulnerability as a leader and say, you know what, I don't know. Let's work together. Let's figure this out together. I'm going to operate in a different way, not as the leader who knows and needs to predict and control and who has the information and is going to disseminate this to others. But oftentimes when we're working in environments where we're working with what's known as knowledge workers, you know, other very intelligent people we're surrounding ourselves with, there are lots of great perspectives in the room, right? Lots of very wise people in our organization that we could be touching on. So when we can release ourselves from that kind of confined view of a leader being the knower, a leader needing to be in control, a leader not being vulnerable, when we can release ourselves from that, expand into a broader range of ways of being, we can show up much more powerfully, actually, and much more effectively in situations that are where the challenges cannot be solved by knowing or more information.